What's good, everybody? This is Mark Ward, Big Factz Show. I'm not with Laz right now, but I do got a special guest, Taj, aka Designer Gawd, one of the wildest people I ever met in the music industry, who I have great admiration for the way he turned his life around. Started a big film company that's getting his projects picked up by streamers all over the place. At one point, he was affiliated with the Dipset movement. And in my opinion, he's definitely one of the 5 best members lyrically, instrumental in his creation. Moved on to being affiliated with the Coke Boys, but had a wild, successful career in his own right. Videos that was on MTV, they have over 1 million views. Thanks for joining us, Taj. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How you doing, family?
Man, I'm hanging in there, brother.
You got the accolades. You got me sounding real groovy, son. I appreciate you.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to be like, I ain't even gonna front. I'm trying to be like Sway. You know what I'm saying? Like Lil Dicky said, Sway, read my eulogy. I'm trying to bring that energy into the world.
Read the eulogy, baby. Yeah. What's up with y'all, though? This is Taj Mahal, a.k.a. Mr. 45th and Broadway. For those that may not be familiar with everything else that the brother Mark just brought to the light. But, yeah, man. We here, man. Ask me what you want to know. Let's talk. Let's have some God talk. That's what I call it, God talk.
Well, I mean, let's touch on what's going on right now. You got the Young Gawdz series, right? How's that going? And tell people a little bit about what that is and where they can see it and everything.
So actually, Young Gawdz is a series that I created in March of last year. I created Young Gawdz. Young Gawdz is a cross between The Wire, Belly, meets Power. But it's based upon the younger generation, these young brothers that don't have fathers and don't have uncles and don't really have direction in their life. And, you know, it's like they trying to navigate their way through the streets the best way they know how, without minus the guidance that they really need to maneuver and make the right decisions that they need to make in life. So, you know, they're running around doing what they do. And like my brother Raekwon said, life as a shorty shouldn't be so rough. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, word up.
And it started out being on YouTube, and I noticed it would get like damn near 6-figure numbers in less than 12 hours by like what, the 3rd or 4th episode?
So yeah, like so like the whole thing started with me. My son is Polo God. I don't know if y'all know him. POLOGAWD is my son. He's 16 years old. When he was 15, Drake put him on his Instagram. Meek Mill was flying him around the world to do shows. He was opening shows for Lil Durk. I was shooting a music video for my son, and they wanted like an acting piece in the movie. I mean, in the video. So then once I seen them robbing this corner store for the video, I'm like, oh, they can act a little bit. You feel me? I'm like, oh, they got something with them. So I said, man, we should do some more scenes. And then I turned it into an episode. Like you said, by the time we put the 2nd and 3rd episode out, the first episode did like 20, 30,000. Second episode did like 40, 60. Then it started doing hundreds of thousands within the first 48. Nick Nolte, you feel me? 48 hours. It was doing hundreds. It was doing 100 clips. And then French got on. Shout out to French. That's my man. He got on his live and mentioned it one time. And then it just went through the roof after that to where I end up getting a call from Tubi, Amazon Prime, you know, just so many different platforms that said, yo, they want to do something. And then finally Netflix got at us and said, hey, man, take them episodes off of here. Let's figure out a deal.
All right. Well, shit.
So right now you can't really see it. The only place you can see it right now is on my Instagram page, and that's Taj Mahal Hip Hop. TAJMAHALHIPHOP. Taj Mahal Hip Hop. You can see some clips from the show. But besides that, they made us take it down. They made us take it off of the internet.
All right, and congratulations on that. But let's take it back to the beginning. Taj Mahal Hip Hop. How did you get your start in hip hop? Was it in Milwaukee?
Nah, so I was born in Milwaukee, raised in DMI 515, Des Moines, Iowa. Then I came to New York City, I moved to Brooklyn in Brownsville, 308 Sutter Ave. And then from Brownsville, I came up to upstate New York, to Rochester, New York, and then to Syracuse, where I'm at right now. But, you know, my hip hop career started early. It started with me writing poetry, you feel me? And then my poetry was rhyming, and then it was like, it always sounded like a song anyway. So then I started, you know, trying to jot down little records and songs and things of that nature. And yeah, in probably 96, when I was in Rochester, I met DJ Green Lantern.
Okay.
Who went on to be Jay-Z DJ, Eminem DJ. You know, Green is that guy. He put me on the first mixtape. I think it was a New World Order mixtape. And at that time, I really was making beats. I was making sample-driven beats, kind of like what Kanye started to do after that in the 2000s. I was doing that in like 97, 98. So, pardon me. 1 second, brother. So I was doing sample-driven joints, and Green heard it. And I'm like, yeah, he like, I want to put such and such on there. And I'm like, I got a record for that. It was a song called Four Walls. I'll never forget. And Four Walls was about me knowing better, but doing the wrong shit, hustling when I know I was destined to do something else in life. You know what I'm saying? So the first bar of it was like, I'm sick of doing what I'm doing, fam. Every day I wake up and ask myself exactly what am I doing, man? You know what I'm saying? My money is long. No longer do I need to hustle, but still I end up copping bricks to juggle. You know what I'm saying? So
hold on, without getting in your business, because you just said yourself you was hustling. Mm-hmm. You went from Des Moines, Iowa to Brooklyn.
To Brownsville.
How much can you talk about what was the motivation for that? And what happened?
So the motivation was just being a hardhead, man, like giving my mom and them hell, you feel me? Like just being like just not a good son. And running around, like having a life where I really didn't have to do the things that I was doing, but I was intrigued by the shit that I was doing. You know what I'm saying? So I was always intrigued by, you know, the streets, and I had a couple uncles that was really getting to it. You know what I'm saying? And I saw what they was doing, and you know, those was my mentors. And then you know, my homies naturally, and my cousin Kim, who lived in Waterloo, Iowa, which is like an hour or something away from Des Moines. I ended up falling out with my mom, so I used to go stay with my aunt on the Steam, which was Kim and Glenda's mother. So Kim, she always dealt with these dudes from Chicago. She dealt with some of the top vice lords from Chicago because they would be in Iowa hustling. So all of her boyfriends hustled. So I fuck around and caught one of their stash one day, and it was off to the races, baby. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, I started staying in Waterloo with my aunt Ernestine, my favorite aunt. That's like my mom, my second mom. So when me and my mother would be into it, she'd be like, oh, now you could come stay with me, or you could come, you know what I mean, come mess with me or whatever, come down here with us. So she always provided a situation, a second home for me. So, long story short, after that, I got into my older brother. He cut hair. He a barber. Well, he wasn't a barber, but he knew how to cut hair. He could have been a barber. So I learned how to cut hair, and then I came to New York to go to barber college. So once I got to the city, you know what? You know, like, mind you, this ain't Brownsville 2020. This is Brownsville 97, 98.
Annie up Brownsville.
Right. Right. This is Fame, Billy Dan's, you feel me? That's Prospect, Sutter Ave, when Mother Gaston was a place where you ain't want to be on Mother Gaston if you wasn't like that. You didn't want to be on them trains, you feel me? You didn't want to get off on that on that train station on Livonia at that time if you wasn't like that. So after that, like, you know, I ran into a couple of my homies that a couple of them passed away. My man Vine, and it was just a different life, bro. Like, you obviously, that's a whole different life for me from Des Moines, Iowa. You feel me?
Word.
So me being intrigued with the things that I was intrigued with, going to Brownsville was like, oh God, this was heaven for me. You know what I'm saying? Oh, word, we running in shit and juxing, and my son took me on my first jux. After that, boy, I caught a rush, and that was my that and shooting dice was my primary ways of getting to some money for a long time. You know what I'm saying?
That's an adrenaline rush, but that makes me want to ask you this then, since you laying it out here. So for those who don't know, what jux is when somebody give you their shit.
Right.
Have you ever done a cap burglary?
Yeah, I done did every type of burglary, bro. Like,
because I've done both as well, and I found the thrill from the cap burglary to be a little more exhilarating than the thrill from the armed robbery.
Yeah, so with the armed robbery thing, it's like you get that Gawd in your hand, the pistol in your hand, and it give you a rush and make because you see how people that you thought was tough or that was talking tough, you watch them fold like beach chairs. You feel me?
Or
it's folding like lawn chairs when that pistol come out. So that gives you a whole different rush in itself. But so yeah, I was doing it all though. Like, so at that point, now the juxing is once you juxing and you known for juxing, it comes to a point where you have to. You got to sell everything third party. Nobody don't even want to buy no work from you because they know that chances are, yeah, Taj might sell it to me, but he might come back and take it too, or he might act like he gonna sell it to me, and he might back out on me, or he might act like he gonna give me something and it be gold medal flour. It ain't nothing. It ain't nothing in the
word to Willie D.
Word to Willie D. Nigga, you can't do that. I might give you something. And the only thing you can do is dump some chicken in it and fry it. Fry some chicken with it. So, yeah.
And
now
you came all the way from that to being, I would say, a morally upstanding, large contributor to your community, helping young people find avenues of legitimate success. So congratulations on that transformation, brother. It's just impressive.
Absolutely, man. Alhamdulillah. I thank Allah every day for that because I'm not supposed to be here, bro. We're not supposed to be doing this interview. We're supposed to be doing this interview over a visit. You understand what I'm saying? You're supposed to be visiting me right now, and we're doing this interview. So definitely, all praises due to Allah and showing me and helping me to understand that. Because I used to say, bro, all the time, yo, this is all I know. People would be asking like, yo, why you doing this? Why you doing that? Bro, this is all I know. Until, like my pops had to tell me like, nah, bro, Taj, you'll be good at anything. Quit saying that. You got an amazing mind. You could do whatever you put your heart to. So, luckily, yeah, like I said, I got into that and I got into more of a spiritual realm and understanding who I am and what am my worth. But it's not like I never knew it, Mark, but it's just a lot, in this community of ours, African-American community, Black and Spanish, brown communities, we are obsessed with instant gratification, right? So even if you know better, you might still fuck around and do the wrong shit just because it's so easy. And then once you juxing, and it's so easy to just like, what am I hustling all day for to make a few $1,000s when I could call a nigga who got a bird, tell him to bring it and just back the pistol out?
Word.
That was my thoughts.
Work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, for years that was my thoughts.
And then you have less exposure to being arrested.
Right. Now, mind you, guess what?
You rob somebody, only one person can snitch on you. You hustle, everybody that know can snitch on you.
Right. Now, guess what? The glorious thing about it is, and what really made me stop, to be honest with you, is I did all of this nonsense, which is truly nonsense. I want all these young brothers to just listening to me to know that shit ain't good.
It's some stunt dummy shit.
Crash dummy shit.
Motherfuckers lucky they alive, bro. I've
Yeah.
I could have died right there. Motherfucking, my vein was hanging out my arm. I could see it pumping blood at the rhythm of my heart. And I'm sure you got. I mean, I got mad scars. I'm sure you got war wounds.
Yeah. And guess what though? The best part about it is I did all of this shit, all of these reckless things, bro. And I ain't never went to jail. I never had a drug charge in my life. I never had to do no bid. You feel me?
Yeah.
So with that being said, that's when you got to look at your life and say, damn, God, like you've been there for me, God. Thank you. I'm here for a different purpose. I can't keep throwing these rocks. Like it didn't take for me to get caught to settle down. It didn't take for me to do a 10-year bid to say, nah, this ain't the right thing.
So when did you realize that you was nice and rapping? And not even just viable as an artist, like actually being nice.
Like actually just being dope, nice?
Yeah.
I think I realized that when when that Green Lantern CD came out. Like before that, I knew I was nice. I would enter certain ciphers and talk my talk, and you know what I'm saying? But when I started realizing I was dumb nice, it was like 45th and Broadway days, like me being on the block on 145th Street, and I rap for Cam, and I really wanted Cam just to hear a beat that one of my producers made, because I was managing producers too.
Well, back it up. That's what I was gonna get into. This is how did you meet Dipset?
Okay, so the whole Dipset affiliation came from my man T Money and Luca Brasi. So I would be on 45th, because if the people that's listening that don't know, on Broadway in Harlem, it's like a drug shopping center. You hear? Like you couldn't walk at that time. You couldn't walk up and down Broadway without the Oyers.
That's what Jay-Z was talking about on Empire State of Mind. For those who don't know, my Oyers on Broadway.
Right. So you couldn't go up. You couldn't even walk up Broadway without the Oyer saying, "Yo, Poppy, I got this, I got that, Poppy, 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 Poppy." So that's where everybody went to cop their work at the time. Everybody would go on Broadway to get their work. Now Luca, which is the head of the Taliban, which is my cousin, he already had 145th and Broadway on Smash. 45th and Broadway, they already had that on Smash. They was out there selling CDs, selling Iceberg, selling, you name it, they were selling that out of Uncle Al van, right? So
Jordans, Nike boots. I used to go out there. I'm from DC, right? And all we had was go-go's. So I go up to New York, literally just get off the Greyhound $40 Express, catch the subway up to 145th and Broadway, because they be having the best CDs on the blankets. Like the further you got away from it, it'd be like Africans blanket junk, and their covers be Fugazi. The junks on 145th and Broadway be folding out with pictures and shit.
Yeah. That was when we started. That was later on when we really started knowing, like, oh yeah, nah, this shit is popping, like for real. Because we was going downtown and getting the bootlegs too. But then when like the Dipset Volume 1s and all the Triple Threat series, which, so, like I started the Senate. That was my faction. Taliban was Brasi. Diplomat was Killer. The Senate was mine. Purple City was Shice Bub. We really started that 3-card fold out. You know what I'm saying? Like the very first
we be in the Senate?
Huh?
We be in the Senate?
Yeah, like me, literally. Yeah. The first time that the scissor, the gym shit, the scissor was ever even the very first time that it was ever promoted and marketed was in the Triple Threat 2 fold out. And I was doing fold outs. They was doing one sheets at that time.
You still got copies of all this stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah?
Yep.
What would one have to do to get their hands on these things?
Ah, man, they gotta go through you, and you let me know, man, and we can make it happen, man. I wish it was video. I would show you right now. I definitely got fold outs.
I found this on eBay. You remember this?
Oh yeah, you see this?
Yeah, damn.
That's me under my son when my son was a baby boy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that was when he was a little baby boy. He's 16 now. But yeah, man, we definitely got the footage, and I got hard drives of footage of us on the block, and you know how this whole thing unfolded.
That Senate documentary, is this still on YouTube?
So the Senate documentary, I never ever put on YouTube. I put a private link up and let people go view the private link at one time, but that was it. I never put it up there for the world to see.
Is it out right now?
Nah, so it should be out in the next month. We got a distribution deal that we're working out right now with
Congratulations, brother.
Yeah, thank you, brother. With UCO Distribution. So they're gonna be distributing that very, very soon.
But so take it back to meeting, starting the Senate and then meeting Dipset. So did the Senate exist before Dipset? I mean, before you knew Dipset?
So yeah, before I knew Dipset, I was already rapping. Like I said, I had been on Green Lantern CD. I went a little fast. I was on Green CD. I was living in Rochester at that time. My man was hustling in Syracuse. He made so much money out here. He called me one day like, yo, boy, you can have this shit over here. I ended up moving to Syracuse. My boy Sean, Fat Sean, Sean Cooper.
Is that who they be talking about on them skits?
Yeah. So he had came up top and he was getting to a bag. So when Fat Shiggity, he called me and was like, yo, you can have this shit. I came up here, checked it out, and I ain't never left. I didn't have no kids before I came upstate. So I came upstate, had some children, and I've been here ever since. But to answer your question, yes, I had the Senate before Cam had Dipset, but it just wasn't big yet. Like Juelz wasn't signed to the Dipset.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying like did you have it first and they took your idea? I'm saying did you have the Senate as a separate entity before it had affiliation with Dipset?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we was already doing our own thing. And it wasn't until I made the Triple Threat series, because we did Senate Volume 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
I got a Triple Threat somewhere. I gotta find that. Who was in the Senate at the time?
Knight, Thump Mendoza, Sammy G, Heck, and myself in the Tomb Raiders.
People other than yourself, who had the biggest buzz? Was it Thump Mendoza? I heard his name at the time, but that's not the be all end all.